It's another beautiful day. Yeah, I'm gonna stay home today. Probably gonna go in the evening. So the machete. It's insane. I went to sleep in Washington D.C. and I woke up in Maryland. I don't know how we went from that to there. Let's see the outside. Oh yeah. What is this video? This is not a video, brothers. This is a live stream. Back in Maryland. So I might go back to Washington just to, look around, I mean, it was nice. See the trees and stuff, the cherries. But yeah, today's a beautiful Sunday. I mean, there's not much to do. So yeah, I don't know. I went on a rant last night. Well, but you gotta expose the truth, like this. You're not gonna come and say that J6Fs and political prisoners cannot get donations when we went through all this bullshit. So we used to have chickens. They're not here no more, but finally a good video. Well, it's always a good video, but this is not a video, brother. This is a live stream because I'm a content creator. So everything that I say, whatever, if they cannot take it out of context because I'm a content creator, so this is part of my content, you know. So that's part of the. That's why when I go to protest, or I say things, or I protest, or I mention, or I go to places, it's content. This is just content creation. So you know, and that's all it is. Yeah, living here in a rural area, I'm not gonna show up there because there's stalkers and there's people. It's interesting. I mean, because I have fans and I have people that watch me and support me, but there's also like people who like screen record what I live stream. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why they do it, so I'll be glad. So yeah, I mean, it's just a normal day, normal Sunday. Can you say my user? Yeah, I don't know. The people. So I don't know who you are. So like I said, I mean, there's many people that come here and come and leave. But they have like fake accounts or like accounts with no names. Their names are not nothing. It's just anonymous accounts, or sometimes they pretend to be someone they're not. So, and I have all the screenshots. All the death threats that I receive every single day on X. I have screenshots of that, and I'm gonna like report it to the police one day. So yeah, if I say something, it's because I'm live streaming and people just comment stuff, hate speech. People comment stuff, and sometimes you gotta expose the bullshit. Sometimes you just gotta expose the BS, their BS. So disclosure, man. So this is called live stream with the V, not F. But yeah, it's just another day, a beautiful day. So yeah, I mean, you can subscribe if you want. Go ahead, subscribe. I'm a content creator, so that's what I do. I do content. So everything that is being saying in here, that is being saying in this stream, is because it's part of content. So, but I was exposing the BS last night. The BS of people. So they say they were for the J6 community, but in reality they're not. Ugh, man. It's just insane that I have to wait fucking 7 months. 7 months to get out of here, get out of this country. Moving to Argentina or like Denmark. I don't want to like give too much information, but yeah, like that's a plan. I'm trying to like leave for just refresh my mind for like, at least a period of time. So trying to stay out. Probably for 6 months, but yeah. But I'm gonna be ending the stream because I have things to do. I mean, so I gotta eat something. And what's next? Yeah, we're probably gonna be heading to Washington to see the atmosphere. So summer is coming up, so that's one of the things. So yeah. But yeah, we're here back in Maryland. I came here. What time did I got here? I came here at 6 a.m. to Maryland. I don't know I don't even remember how did I got here. That's how crazy it is. I don't even remember how I got to Maryland. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be ending the stream. So this is a nice piece of land. I should have built something here. So yeah, got up there the park. What's inside there? The boogeyman, wolves. Well, yeah, like I said, there's people, fake accounts that have been threatening me, and all that stuff is gonna be reported. Been threatening me since for like 3 years, 4 years, and I have all the receipts. I don't know why. I don't know why they threaten me. So that's why I gotta report it. So if I don't know who you are, you come in here on fake accounts and just commenting hate and like threats, death threats to myself. That's kind of concerning because I don't know who you are. So and you hiding behind a freaking fake account. So obviously you hiding because you committed, first of all, you committed a crime. You committed a crime because crime is death threat. Now you hide behind a fake account, so obviously you're committing a crime. Because if you're not committing a crime, why you don't use an account with your first name and last name? So you stalking people and you threaten people. So that's two crimes there on a fake account. Then right, obviously, because you're gonna report it to the police, and they're gonna say, well, that account doesn't lead to anyone because he doesn't have an identity. We need a first name and last name. They tell them, just can you subpoena, can you IP? And they said they can't. Well, they don't want to do their job. So obviously, because you committed a crime and you haven't been caught, doesn't mean you're not a criminal. So yeah, I mean, you can keep like, and they know. So this is the question. Okay, they threaten me and they trying to communicate with my person on a fake account. Why on a fake account? Why not on a real account? Because they committed a crime. They threatening me because they know if I report this shit, that's gonna go back to them and they can get charged. So they know what they're doing. So all that stuff is gonna work on my favor and stuff. So, and like I said, I'm a content creator. So, and I have credentials to go to places that I pay for and stuff. So, all that stuff is gonna, all these people are gonna be exposed. Like you send me death threats on a fake threats account. Listen how insane these people are. There's a fake threats account that's been death threatening me and my mom and my family. They don't do nothing but it's death threats. It's a crime. So I blocked them. So I got a second account and say, okay, you blocked me one, so I'm gonna keep communicating with you in the second one. Like, see? Well, that's a stalking. So, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to engage with anyone. I don't want to deal with nobody. But they keep coming, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to subpoena. I'm trying to like build this case and trying to see if really can build a case where it's a real death threat to the point I report this to the police and they can subpoena our IP address, that evidence, and find these people. So yeah, like they told me like the only cases, like the only way they do it, like if it's a high crime. Let's say if somebody, I don't want to say it here, but if somebody do something to someone, or there's let's say a crime like a robbery or something, and the only evidence is a fake account, well, that and you have like evidence somebody robbed you, but or like somebody did something to someone and they posted something on a fake account, and the only evidence that's going to lead to that account, that's going to lead to that person is the fake account. Obviously, the police is going to subpoena an IP address, that stuff. So they have access to it. They just don't want to do their job. So yeah, I mean, so check this out. Like the whole justice system is broken. These people commit death threats to me, threatening me, and stalking me online. I go to the police. Hey, here, this is the evidence. Can you IP these people? I want to press criminal charges. They said no, we cannot because he's not a high and just block him. Okay, I blocked those motherfuckers, but they keep coming back. So what are we doing here? Oh, but oh no, hire an attorney. Oh, I have to hire an attorney because they committed crimes against me. How that even works? Oh, but if I go handing out Bibles, you wanna lock me up, put me in jail, and give me a public defender because it's for your benefit. See how the justice system is broken? So if you hand out Bibles outside the Capitol, they charge you on fabricated charges, false charges. They already pardoned, already clean, a misdemeanor, and they give you a public defender. But if they commit crimes against me, they threaten me. I have to hire an attorney. You cannot give me a public defender. Like, or for example, oh no, you have 3 misdemeanors on J6. You have 2 misdemeanors. Plead guilty to one and we drop the other. Okay, what about if it's 1 misdemeanor? If I plead guilty to that misdemeanor, will you drop it and clean my record and let me walk? No, they're not. You're gonna plead guilty to that misdemeanor if it's 1. You're gonna plead guilty to 1, and you're probably gonna get a better sentence. Okay, but why can I drop it if I plead? Why can I just drop it and let me go? Oh, but if you have to, we can drop one. You can plead to one and drop the other. See how crooked the system is? It's bullshit, dude. And it's a circus. It's a whole circus. You know, for example, that guy Luigi Mangione. I want that motherfucker to. I want that little fucking brat to fucking rot in prison. I hope he gets life in prison and never come out. He's not coming out like that. They giving him so fame. No, dude, like, you're not coming out. Like, if he doesn't get life in prison, he's probably gonna get fucking 60 years in prison. That's it. We won't be able to see him again. Like, you know, I mean, he's gonna live in prison for the rest of his life. And these people are promoting this motherfucker like if he was some type of hero. First of all, he's a coward. You covered all your face, and you went behind someone. And I'm not gonna say it here because there's content. But this is what I'm talking. I'm talking about Luigi Mangione's case. Luigi Mangione's case. I'm not talking about no one else. I'm talking about Luigi Mangione's case. So, people who's watching this, these cocksucker took someone's life, going behind it, all covered up like a coward, and now they're promoting him as hero. Brian Betancourt got to fucking hand out Bibles at a protest of a stolen election, and they want to put us like if we were some type of fucking Osama bin Laden. So like I said, dude, like the whole fucking media is crooked, and we shouldn't have free press in this country. Why we shouldn't have free press? Because of that. Because the media takes advantage to defame people's, to spread lies about people, spread fake news. So why are you promoting him as a hero? He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. I'm here on Free Society. So in reality, who's more dangerous, me or Luigi Mangione? Luigi Mangione. But for the media, I'm the bad guy. And my record is clean. My record got dropped, and I only have a misdemeanor and that's gonna be expunged no time soon. I'm not even a felon. I was never convicted of a felon. So that dude took someone's life, and you promoting him as a hero. But a grandma went to a protest, and you putting her as an extremist. That's why we don't need free press in this country. That's why I don't believe in free press. Because free press takes advantages to defame people. Or for example, they defame my name. Why I'm gonna have to hire an attorney to file defamation? Why you can appoint me a public defender, and he filed the defamation, and you pay him? Because they committed a crime against us. Defamation is a crime. If you believe in a justice system, that's what I'm saying. Like this is not a country of law and order. Law and order applies to certain people and certain characteristics. For example, in domestic violence, it only applies to men. Men are the only ones who have. Women is the only victim on domestic violence. So let's say the wife hits the man. That's not a crime. Or she stabs him in the neck. He's the one that's gonna go to jail because the justice system is broken. It benefits women, then benefits men. 100% of the times. So that's why that system is broken. Luigi Mangione, why are they promoting him as a hero when he took someone's life? He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison, and they send him letters, you know. So for example, like the case of Andrea G. Andrea G did less than Luigi Mangione. Andrea G. So if that's the case, then release Andrea E. Let her go home. Andrea E. from Rockville. Let her go home. Because she didn't do anything. She didn't hurt anyone. If you're going to promote Luigi Mangione as a hero, and that he shouldn't go to jail, then Andrea G. shouldn't be in jail either. Because she didn't even hurt anyone. See? And the media lie. That's why I don't believe in free press. Like, we shouldn't have free press. Like, biased media should get canceled in this country, you know, and shouldn't have any place or like jobs, or close all those newspapers, you know, the nation, like close those, ban those people, you know, like political, ban those people, don't give them press, don't give them speech. That's it, you know, close down their business. That's what I'm for, you know. First of all, they're spreading misinformation about the president of the United States. They defaming Trump. They hate this country. They shouldn't have free press. Fuck free press. I don't believe in that. We shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have none of that. That's why this country has so much wokeness, because of free press, because of that. So that's why I keep saying, you know, like, we shouldn't have free press. Like I said, you know, so you defaming people's names, and they're gonna have to pay an attorney. You cannot give them a public defender to file defamation. Okay, but they committed a crime against them. Why don't give them a public defender, an attorney? Oh, but if they go to a protest, you're gonna lock them up and give them a public defender, because that benefits you. Because you're not gonna spend money, and it's a whole circus. Because they don't want to spend money on you. You know, their benefit is to spend money. That's why federation is not a crime. Federation is not a crime, because if it was a crime, they're gonna spend more money arresting the person, putting him in jail, and giving him a public defender than the citation itself. That's why federation will never be a crime, because they're gonna spend more money putting the person through the process than the real incident itself. See, because the whole system is about money. It's profit driven. It's because the system wants to benefit. The system wants to keep making money. That's it, and that's why it's not, because it's not a benefit to them to arrest people who federate. Is not a crime. Is not beneficial to them, because they're gonna spend more money. So the person most likely not gonna have the money. If he doesn't, first of all, if he doesn't have the money to pay fair, it's most likely he's not gonna have the money to pay for an attorney. So obviously, the same government or the tax money, they're gonna have to spend money to appoint him a public defender. So they're gonna spend more money, and he's probably gonna go to trial. So that's gonna be more money. So it's not beneficial to them. That's why federation is just a citation. And yeah, like the system, that's the system that we live under. You told me they're gonna commit crimes against people by defaming their names, and they're gonna have to hire an attorney. But if someone goes to a protest, oh, you're gonna put them in jail and give them a public defender. Yeah, the system is crooked and it's broken. So, and that's why I got exposed there, you know. So, in this country, you know, like even in Argentina, nobody's gonna go to jail for freaking protesting outside a Capitol. Nobody's gonna protest. Nobody's gonna get arrested. Or if they get arrested, they put them in a police station and then they let them go. You know, they pay something, like, you know, probably what, $20, and they let them go. Like, they don't have. The thing is, in this country, that's a whole business. It's a profit driven. It's a whole business. It's like a Ponzi scheme. You know, oh, you know, oh, you did this, so plead guilty to this, and we're gonna give you a bullshit. You know, no, nobody's gonna plead to nothing. You know. So you either let me go or let me go, but I'm not gonna plead to nothing, you know, and that's how it's supposed to be. So, like with this lady, what's it called? With this individual, what's his name? Freaking Brian Monk. Yeah, they took a plea. What was this guy's name? I think it was Monk. Yeah, he took a plea, and they dropped some of his charges. Why you don't drop them all? I mean, if you accept the responsibility, drop them all and let him go. He's accepting to be responsible. Yeah, it's freaking insane, bro. Oh, but if it's only one count, you're not gonna drop it. But if it's like 3 counts, they're gonna drop 2 in. So why is like that? Because it's broken. And yeah, like, and for example, like that guy Luigi Mangione, like, because of his case, because of his media, and like, they have a lot of support, they probably gonna give him 35 years. Probably not gonna get life, which is disgusting. He should have rotted in prison for the rest of his life. And yeah, I mean, but it's interesting that a lot of people are seeing him as some kind of, you know, but some grandma who protests a stolen election has to be defamed, you know. That's why I don't believe in free press. We shouldn't have free press in this country, because it controls the narrative, you see? When you give too much power to the press, this is what they do. For example, if we live in democracy, let's say we live in a free country, why they can steal the election They can rig an election, stole an election. If you stand against it, you go to jail. If you speak against election fraud, you're gonna lose your job. If you speak against vaccine mandates, you can get banned on Twitter or like lose your job. So do you live? Are we really live under a constitutional republic, under free speech, or this is a tyranny? That's what it is. That's why Trump got in office and he's changing the whole cycle of this country. He's changing everything. He's exposing the lies. He's exposing everything, And so he's gonna keep doing it. We gotta keep exposing the corruption that happens, So that's what we gotta keep doing. Yeah, I hope under this administration he, take credentials and like close down, certain newspapers or I hope he gets rid of free press. I hope he do it. He kicked off people from the White House, actually, from press people. So, like, free of press. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like, we don't need that in this country. That's why you have wokeness. That's why you have indoctrination in your schools, because you allow these people, to have their free press. But hey, if you say something, if you say there's only two genders, you can lose your job. If you say Christ is king, you can go to jail. So the so-called free press applies to them, but doesn't apply to us. See? That's why we don't need this free of press. He should have changed the cycle of the Constitution and change things on his power and make it different, make a difference in this country, How are you gonna let somebody steal the elections, rig an election, and get away with it, and nobody's gonna be held accountable? Do you know how insane is that? Do you know how insane that is? That people can get away with rigging an election and stealing an election, and the ones that have to go to jail are the ones who are standing against that, against election corruption. How sick is that? It's just sickening, dude. It's sickening. The ones that have to go to jail are the ones who stand against the people who committed a crime, who stole the election. It's freaking insane, dude. It's like we were living like 6 months ago, like 5 months ago, we live under that type of government, under that type of regime. Now this is another government, and I want total Trump power in the White House, in the government, in judicial branch. Only Trump is gonna have the power. That's what I want. Only one man that's gonna lead us to the truth. Only one person. We don't need parties. We don't need elections. We need one leader that's gonna represent us, and that's it. And when he's ready, and when he's done, when he's ready to give power, pass the torch to someone with the same ideals as you, or give it to your son, Junior. So yeah, it's freaking insane. The ones that stood up against corruption and tyranny are the ones that are gonna have to go to jail or being persecuted. But the ones who actually stole the election and rigged everything are the ones who are not gonna go to jail and just walk free. Well, that's the reality, So yeah, that's all for today. I gotta get going, so I have things to do. I'll talk to you later. I'm probably gonna go on a live stream later today. I'm not even gonna say when, and I'm not gonna live stream on my way there. I'm just gonna live stream once I get up there. So yeah, But that's it for today. Catch me later. Whoever is watching this, I'm exposing the truth, and and also this is for content. A lot of content here, content creation and stuff. So yeah, and we'll be back in Washington in a couple hours. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's kind of sunny. Beautiful weather outside, So that's pretty much it.